Hello, everybody. My name is Nubuke, and this is Wopeka Talk, sponsored by Wopeka. And today we will be interviewing a very special guest, visionary and founder of Petite Elise Preschool, Eno Quagraine. So let's go find out what Eno's doing today. Hi! Oh, I love your shoes.
Thank you. I don't know if you've noticed, but it reads Petite Elise.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Love it. Okay, so I'm in the car with Eno, and Eno, I have a question for you.
Okay.
And my first question is, looking back at your childhood, how did we get here? Where, again, I introduced you as a visionary and the founder of Petite Elise Preschool. How did we get from baby Eno all the way through to here?
I have no idea. But I will say that growing up in the University of Ghana campus, I grew up with parents who were already in academia. So people would say, oh, okay, I mean, this is in line with whatever it is that you like, whatever it is that you're exposed to. But for me, I feel like I kind of like went the long route. Like I did other things before finally getting here, and everything happened so organically. Like my plan was never, oh, I'm going to start a school. I'm definitely going to start a school when I'm older. It was more like I knew I wanted to start something. And I knew it had to do with childcare or something with kids, because I've always loved being around kids, and I feel like kids have always kind of felt at home with me. And then I've also done like internships with different schools, different activity centers, but I never thought that I was going to start it on my own, And so I did that I'll say probably 2008. 2008 was when I worked at GIS for a year. That was during my gap year before going to the university. And then after that, during school breaks, I would go volunteer with my aunts who had an after school care space in East Legon. Did that every single vacation. I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Like anytime I would leave, like the kids would literally be crying. Like they were so sad, and I was so sad. And then for me, meets me outside when I'm walking. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And then after that, I remember after national service, I started a business. That was my first business. It was called Tiny Tools Events.
Okay.
So that was for it was kids, kids theme parties and baby showers, bridal showers, things like that. Did that for a number of years. Did that from I'll say 2015 to about 2020. So for about 5 years. And then COVID happened. And then once COVID happened, I mean, who is booking you for events? So I kind of had to pivot. And at the time, I had started my parenting platform called Talkative Mom. It was initially for the mummies, but then I decided to include the dads because, I mean, we are both raising the kids. So then we launched an app 2021. And, with that, obviously the moms have kids. Where are they taking their kids to? That kind of thing. And I really wanted to set up a physical space for the moms to just come, lounge, seek professional help, things like that. So it was supposed to be a community center, but then we needed to have childcare as well, because then who's watching the kids? So I was like, okay, within the same space, we would also have like a small space by it where we could have babysitters taking care of the kids. But Ghanaians were like, is it daycare? Is it daycare? I was like, it's not a daycare. When you're explaining, it's like, no, it sounds like a daycare. And then by the next year, I was like, it's a daycare. Let me give the people what they want. So we started out as a daycare. And then again, the parents came back and they were like, okay, the daycare says 3 months to 2 years. What are we doing with our kids after 2 years?
Okay.
And I was like, I never intended to start a school. And they were like, but where are we taking our kids? So then I was like, okay, let me do some research, try and get the necessary certifications and stuff like that. So I had to get NASIA, social like all of them on board to be able to give me their certification so that I
Yeah,
could become an actual preschool. So then that's where we are now, and that's how come Petite Elise Preschool was birthed.
Okay. So what are the age groups now? So you take
So now it's 3 months all the way to 5 years.
So can you trace back where this passion started from? Do you have an earliest memory of where you were like, ooh, this kid thing is what I want to dedicate my whole life to? And I asked that because you're a mom as well. So I guess my question is, at what point in time were you like, nah, like it's not just about me. Like I want to be able to take care of like other people's kids as well.
Yeah. So Eno, my name, actually means mom. Okay. And I remember growing up, I hated my name so much. Like I was like, why would I be called Eno? Which, initially I thought it meant old woman.
Okay.
And the reason why I thought that was my dad is very traditional. We grew up in a home where every single year we would visit our hometown. And he'll introduce us to all the old women, like the grandmas, the aunts, like everyone around the home in the village. We would go visit. And a respectful way of addressing an old woman when you don't know their name is Eno. So I was like, I'm 6 years old and the old women are also called Eno. What's going on? Like, why couldn't I be called like a Tiffany? Or I remember like that was me then. And my dad is, for him, you will have a local name, no English name.
My mom's like that as well.
It's now that I get it, but back then I did not understand. It wasn't cool then.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't cool then. So I grew up, and I remember like years later. Now my dad, God rest his soul, he's passed now. But it was after he died that I kind of appreciated my name. I was like, wow, like there was a whole plan for my life. And words and names are really powerful. And I guess I would say that it was my purpose to start this, because it really ties into like why I'm called Eno. So I mean, I can't control it. I don't know why I feel this way. I don't know why I'm like passionate about like kids and motherhood and things like that. But I guess it just has to do with who I am, my name.
And I you said something, and it was something along the lines of words being powerful, because even right now, I don't even think it stops at words. I think it's our culture that is so powerful. Like there's just something in it that just like, I don't know, it connects to the soul. And the reason I say that is because right now you've just started a new program where, tell me about Ghana Camp, right? Because we started like, I'm sorry, I'm excited because basically Anna was telling me about Ghana Camp and how is this great initiative, because she felt like more kids need to know about Ghana and the things that are innate to us. And I was like, I need to know more about Ghana and the things that it needs to us. So I bring that to tie that into the cultural conversation of, can you tell me a little bit more about like, tell me about Ghana Camp.
So Ghana Camp, my kids actually inspired Ghana Camp. My kids and my childhood.
Okay.
So I remember growing up, my first field trip was to Elmina Castle, in Cape Coast Castle. And I mean, the feeling, there was something about it that I couldn't explain it. It couldn't have been taught in the classroom. Like you just had to be there. And I said, you know what? Whenever I start programs like this, I need to incorporate like field trips into it. Then my kids, I remember a couple of years ago, they were about 3 and 4 years old. And it was around Independence Day, so 6th March. And I remember there was this particular venue, this space that was hosting a Ghanaian themed program, independence theme program. All Ghanaian foods, Ghanaian games, things like that. And I went there with the kids. So ahead of the program, I was just like quizzing them on like, what are the Ghanaian colors? What are this? And they were saying so many interesting things about, we want Ghana to grow big. And I have to show you that video.
Okay, please.
So we end up going for the program, and then they see a multi-epistle and they're asking me like, oh, mommy, what's that? And like, for me, I grew up with that. So I didn't realize that they had never seen that before. And I was like, no, I almost felt like I'd failed them. And I also knew that if my kids are asking me this, other kids also need this. Because a lot of these kids, they are in schools, like, international schools that are doing like the foreign curriculums and things like that. So they don't learn about like the Ghanaian culture and stuff like that. So I said, we need to include that in some of these programs. So how can we start? So the first summer camp we're going to run is going to be called Ghana Camp. And it's going to, the kids are going to be learning like about the Ghanaian languages, food. We'll definitely do field trips so they can see some of these things for themselves. We'll go to the markets, stuff like that. So that's really where Ghana Camp was birthed. And then once that started this year as well, we continue. So this year, Ghana Camp has also been great. So far the kids have what have they done? So we visited the airport. They learned about the different. You mentioned the ethnic groups, the regions, and all that. So there was a little bit about travel in there. This week we hope we can visit the Ghana Museum. I think it's called the National Museum, not to be confused with Kwame Nkrumah Museum. We also want to visit the archaeology departments at the University of Ghana as well, so they can see some of these things as well.
This is so fun. Would you be open to a Ghana camp for adults? No, I think you should think about a Ghana camp for adults.
I probably should.
Because this is such that, I mean, it's very, very important. And I'm just trying to think of like even the scraps of Ghana history that I need to put together even now. Like I wish that I had a curriculum for me currently that would take me through Ghana's history and teach me. Like I'm constantly like interacting with different parts of our culture. And when I say some words in Ewe or I ask my grandma and my mommy what certain things are, exactly what you said. They're like, did I fail my child? Because why at your grown age do you not know what this is? And I'm like, because nobody told me. Okay, so thank you so much for this. So you don't only have a passion for kids. So you talked about also having a passion for mothers. And I know that the passion for kids came from when you were younger. When did if it pivots into moms? Like, explain to me why you also like the people that are carrying the children.
I'm a mom. I have mom friends. But even before I had mom friends, I realized something about motherhood, right? I was one of the first to have a child in my friendship
group.
And I remember feeling very alone, like alienated in a way. Like it wasn't intentional, but then I felt like, oh, look at all my friends like going out, having fun, and I've had 2 of my babies in November, like end of November. So
December was, you missed, huh?
I'm watching people snaps and they're out having fun. And I'm like, what have I done? So like, I was like, wait, like, do I have to go out there and have like make some mom friends? And where do I start? Because I'm not going out, you know. So it was a lot. And then I realized, you know what? Other people may also be going through this. But all I decided to do was to have an outlet. So I started a blog. So Talkative Mom was the name of my blog. And all I would do is just write about my motherhood journey. So just journaling, like that's all I was doing. And I had readers, you know, and then other moms actually reached out and they're like, oh, you know, can I also share my story? And then I was like, you know what, actually my story is not the only story. It'll be nice to, you know, be able to have like, you know, maybe like a single mom write something or a mom of twins or
there's different types of moms.
Exactly. So it'll be fun. So we had all these different moms write. We even had women who were not moms but wanted to be moms and just sharing what it's been like, you know, maybe the IVF treatment, like things like that. What has it been? Maybe it's failed, you know. And then other people who may also be waiting read that and then they feel like, oh, they're not alone. So that really is how I started a community. It started off as one thing and then evolved into something bigger. That just started from a blog. And then honestly, I really love my moms. Like now my friends are also, like some of my friends are also moms.
I'm sure they're like, oh, thank God.
I know.
You know.
Even I'm like, oh, like I'm oh God, finally. So because my best friend that we grew up on campus, like she had her first it was 2020. I had my first 2017.
Oh wow, so you're really ahead of the crew.
Like in Peninsula, like it was
it's fine. Somebody has to go first.
Like and it was a talkative. So so then she had hers in 2020 and then she was like, she's done. So she had one and then all of a sudden she had twins. So now I'm like, okay, we are, you know,
love that.
Mom of three. So now
okay.
So that's really how I built the community and then I really love my community. It's my tribe. I call them my tribe.
It's mom, is kids, And what does that look like to take care of yourself? Because I saw something somewhere in your blog talking about digital detox and how it's very important as a mother and as a person to take time for yourself. So I want to flip that question to you as well and say, how do you take care of yourself in this space? Because it feels like from the minutes, even before, from your gap year, from spending your gap year, do you know what I did on my gap year? I traveled. I was having a time of my life. So from your gap year, you've been working and your brain has been on. What has that looked like to really say, okay, let me take care of Eno, mother?
Yeah. No, I love that question so much. You could tell that I had like a bright smile on my face. I feel like that's the phase of life that I'm in now.
Okay.
Like now I'm actually like carving out time for myself, like being more selfish, like going out more, doing things that I want to do. What does that look like now? Right now it looks like one day off. Out of the week, I have one day to myself. And I use it for whatever. If I have to sleep in, I will. If I have to go for a massage, do my nails, like whatever it is, I kind of want to like enjoy it and not see it as just, oh, let me quickly do my nails and then go do this next thing. Like, let me just take time off. It's my day.
Yeah.
It also looks like hiring help.
Okay.
You know, so making sure that like I know that I'm not the only one that can do this, and I'm one person. So I have the luxury of being able to hire, you know, a nanny or like a cleaner to come do.
And did you have to wait for your kids to get to a certain age? Because I also wonder, again, like what does that look like when you're in different phases of your life? So for example, the single mom phase. Okay, so there's nobody to help. And then like what happens to the I don't have as much money as I want to get help phase, and my mother is pissing me off phase, and I can't deal with my family. Like what does that look like in those little pockets of time and moments?
Honestly, I can only speak for myself. I've realized that all the things that I've set up have been for me, but then it's kind of helped other people. So having a childcare space, again, it worked out for me. I did that because I was like, oh, I need a space where I can take my child. But at the same time, other people would also need my services. So a lot of the businesses have been for me in a selfish way. But yeah, if you're not taking care of the kids, we are most likely like scrolling on our phones because that's the only me time that you have. But like, what can you do to actually entertain yourself outside of this, right? What about our old hobbies? Like, when was the last time that you literally just doodled or colored?
Or played ampe.
Or played ampe, lime and spoon, sack race. Like, most of the time we did all those things. Like, finished a book, maybe even read, like, maybe just like 3 pages of a book, something. So then, or crocheted, or like, you know, just all these different things. So yeah, we set something. I saw that online. I realized that was popping up in Europe a lot, where it's like people just like in these cute spaces, just crocheting. And I was like, this looks so calming.
It's a nice
like
hobby.
What does it take to do this?
Yeah.
Let's just set it up. So then decided to set it up. We actually hosted our first last Saturday.
Okay, and how'd it go?
It went really well. It was
is this
fantastic.
Just moms?
No,
okay,
all women.
Tell me. Okay,
all
okay,
women,
okay.
All women, yeah. All women.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what has been the most rewarding moment on this journey so far? Like you doing this, it could be from you as a person, it could be from the childcare work that you could do, it could be from supporting women. But like, what has the most rewarding part of this whole thing been for you?
I think the feedback, honestly. Like whenever someone sends a message and just says like, oh, I needed this, like this was perfect. Like I remember on Saturday, one of the community members sent me a message and she typed out perfect, right? But it was like P, enter E, enter R. Like she just like typed it out. She's like, it was perfect. Like she needed it. Like, you know, like I feel so like, I feel like my work is done. Like it's like, this is it. Like in my mind, I have this thing in my mind where I'm like, this is how I want people to feel. So whenever they express it in words, and I'm big on words, honestly. So yeah, whenever they tell me like, oh, this was great, I loved it, I needed it, I went back home, I felt refreshed, or I was a better mom when I went back and things. I'm like, yeah, great. Because we also host retreats as well outside Accra. And again, like these are little pockets of, you know, whatever that we're able to like get away from our kids. I'm not saying that the kids sometimes need
get away. Say it with it. Say it, man.
Sometimes you need it. So yeah, like whenever they in and they go back home, get refreshed.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like
And you can even be a better mom.
like a better human. Like when you
Yeah,
go out,
yeah,
like you're not like, you know, like lashing out at everyone. So yeah, whenever people give me that feedback, I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Again, even with the kids, like when you look at it, most parents are busy. They need somewhere safe to keep their kids. So whenever they bring their kids, whether it's school, we have a Saturday club that we run as well. So you have like a social event you have to go to and you can't take kids. Sometimes you just really want the day to yourself, like the house to yourself. Come and leave your kids, you go home and then you can do whatever it is you need to do and then come home. Yeah.
So it almost feels, I mean, you're a queen innovator. It feels like every couple of years there's something that is going to spring up that is very needed. So what does that look like? If I asked you, and I don't even know if you have the answers based on our conversation today, but if I were to ask you that in 5 years or 10 years, like, where do we see Eno's empire? You know, what do we see, what Eno has built, and what will make you happy in like 5-10 years?
Honestly, what will make me happy is, so let me just say this, right? Everything that has to do with parenting is tough. I would love for someone, whether you end up as a single mom, single dad, or married with kids, whatever that looks like, once you have kids, there's this hub that you can think of that can handle everything. And you don't need to stress about anything. Like, I want to be that hub. I do not know what that would look like in totality. I just know that I would like to be that go-to. Even already, like on Instagram, like I always say my DMs are always open. People send me DMs all the time, like questions like, oh, where can I find this? I don't necessarily have to have it all. Sometimes I can just point you in the right direction, you know? I would love that you have that person, and again, I'm one person. So I would love to be that, not just me, but me, my team, whatever. There's a hub you can go to for answers. You don't have to be questioning yourself and feel alone and that kind of thing, or somewhere safe that we can take care of you or the kids.
And I think it's so important because I think that, like, again, most vulnerable groups, and a lot of times people sleep on that because I think because you hear, oh, children and women are so vulnerable, sometimes it becomes like repetitive and you don't actually clock that is very, very important. I mean, even the fact that when you give birth, the depression that can follow that, and then the baby's safety versus your safety, and there's just a lot of things to juggle. So I think this is very needed in Ghana. I think it's very needed in the world. So I'm very excited that there's people like you that are pouring back into the community. So very excited that we got to talk to you today about that. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I think even like I'm writing down on my notes. I'm like, okay, so what do I need to harness lately? And thanks for
But I will say, like, I mean, I've loved this conversation. You are also a talker, but you're also a great listener. So I would say that if you're out there and you love to talk, also try to listen as well. Because you know, people come to you for things and they want you to listen. And I love that. I love that about you. Yeah.
I'm so shy. And look at Whoop Car Talks, just putting together a bunch of talkatives. So thank you so much, Eno, for coming on. That was such an insightful conversation. Honestly, with all the guests, I feel like I need a notebook and a pen to be writing all of these things down because there was so much information that I just want to absorb. I love it. Once again, this has been Whoop Car Talk, sponsored by Whoop Car, and we give you the freedom to go places. So I'll see you in the next episode.